great show lined up for you today. Our big main event, we'll see Hulk Hogan take on Dr. Death Steve Williams. We are going to hear from Terry Funk. We're going to hear from Diamond Dallas Page. Last week we heard from Cactus Jack, and he made his intentions known that Skandar Akbar wants Devastation Incorporated to go after the Tag Team Championship. So we will see a one-on-one match as Cactus Jack takes on Flying Brian Pillman. We will see Kevin Von Erich take on the Great Muta. But we begin today's show with an inclusion match. Last week, these two men faced off in a 6-man tag team match. While the Ultimate Warrior will take on the Iron Sheik, who's looking to join a roster spot here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance. Keynote, I played this match on AI. I had nothing to do with this. Let's head down the ringside. And there we are in the Techwood Drive Studios, the former home of World Championship Wrestling and the National Wrestling Alliance. The Iron Sheik taking on the Ultimate Warrior. These two men faced off against each other last week in 6-man competition. The Ultimate Warrior, the newest member, one of the 3 newest members, with Junkyard Dog and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But the Iron Sheik looking to get his shot. And he has a one-on-one opportunity, and I had to say that he is the heavy underdog in this matchup as he throws Warrior into the ropes. Hip toss nicely done on the part of the Iron Sheik. Oh, and a nice shoulder block takes Warrior down to the mat. That is the concrete studio floor, folks. Warrior back in the ring. He needs to start the momentum here as Iron Sheik with a big clothesline takes down the Warrior, and he could have broken his nose there. Sheik firing away. Warrior has not mounted much offense in the early going. A suplex, down goes the Warrior. The Iron Sheik has been in control this entire matchup. A stomp to the face, and the Ultimate Warrior, I believe, has been busted open. Into the ropes, goes no, reversal by the Warrior, kick to the midsection, the first offensive maneuver, forearm to the back. The Ultimate Warrior goes for a cover, is that going to be all? Iron Sheik makes it to the ropes. Warrior flexing, and Iron Sheik taking full advantage with a beautiful suplex, up and over goes the Ultimate Warrior. He drags the Warrior to the center of the ring, too much time has gone by, goes for the cover anyway, 1, 2, and a kick it. No, 3! He pinned the Ultimate Warrior! The Iron Sheik is the newest member of the Wrestling Legends Alliance!
Here is your winner, the Iron Sheik.
I would call that a massive upset. But the Iron Sheik, the newest member, and let's go backstage to Mean Gene Okerlund, who's standing by with Diamond Dallas Page. So Diamond Dallas Page looking to add members to the Diamond Mine. And he says that he may have wrestlers in upcoming inclusion matches. We already saw the Iron Sheik earlier tonight added to the Wrestling Legends Alliance as Kevin Von Erich in the ring against the Great Muta. A beautiful belly-to-back suplex by Kevin Von Erich takes the Great Muta down. Kevin now with a headlock and slamming Muta down to the mat. We have not seen much of the Great Muta this season on the Wrestling Legends Alliance, but he is a member of JTEX Corporation, along with Terry Funk, who we will be hearing from at the conclusion of this match. And we'll find out what is on Mr. Funk's mind, as Kevin Von Erich with some chain wrestling takes down the Great Muta. And slams him down again. Muta in trouble in the early going of this matchup. Kevin Von Erich, a bit of a lone wolf here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance. I don't know which wrestlers participate in the inclusion matches. I do random matches with wrestlers who are not on the roster, which is why we saw the Iron Sheik face off against the Ultimate Warrior. As Kevin Von Erich climbs the top rope, Muta on the outside floor. I'll explain my point in a second. Kevin Von Erich lines up and nails it, twisting. Oh, beautiful maneuver by Kevin Von Erich, takes Muta down. I have a pool of wrestlers who are under the Wrestling Legends Alliance banner, but are not necessarily signed to contracts. And I did a random selection as Kevin Von Erich dives through the ropes and takes down Muta, who has not been able to get out of the first gear in this matchup so far. But I failed to remove the Ultimate Warrior from the pool, and when my randomizer went off, I just stuck with it, so lesson learned. As Von Erich and Muta battling out on the floor. This match could end in a double countout. But Kevin Von Erich really taking it to the Great Muta here. I'm surprised that Muta has had very little offense in this matchup. And we saw that earlier tonight from the Ultimate Warrior. He never got, I don't think he got out of half gear. As Muta rolls back in. And Von Erich able to break the count, gets in before the count of 8. Muta throws Kevin Von Erich into the ropes. A meeting of the minds. They drop toe hold by the Great Muta, now an STF. Locked in the middle of the ring. Can Kevin Von Erich escape this maneuver? A submission maneuver. Born in Japan, making its way over here to the United States. As Kevin Von Erich has the Great Muta on his shoulders and drops him down for a snake eyes. Down in the corner goes Muta. I was saying earlier, Kevin Von Erich a little bit of a lone wolf here, but maybe we'll see if Kevin's brother Kerry can be included with some inclusion matches coming up. Muta goes for the cover after a backbreaker. 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Kevin Von Erich. Muta off the ropes, lines up, and a beautiful drop kick. No, he missed him. Off the ropes, and Kevin Von Erich reversed that maneuver, goes for the pinfall. Nicely done. 1, and a kick out of 1 by Muta. What a fast-paced series of offensive maneuvers there. I thought Muta nailed Kevin Von Erich with a drop kick, but Kevin moved out of the way, and now he's on the top rope. Muta is in his sights. Muta getting back to his feet. Kevin Von Erich perched high. He's going for the crossbody. Oh, and Muta moves out of the way. Savate kick by the Great Muta. A drop kick takes down Kevin Von Erich. And now it's Muta's turn to climb the top rope. Kevin Von Erich laying prone on the mat. Muta, could it be the moonsault? It is! He nails it! Hooks the leg! Referee counts 1, 2, and 3! And your winner, the Great Muta.
Here is your winner, the Great Muta.
We are going to hear from the Great Muta's partner in JTEX Corporation, Terry Funk, right now. He is standing by with Mean Gene Okerlund. Take it away. Terry Funk putting the challenge out there to Dusty Rhodes for the Wrestling Legends Alliance Championship. Dusty Rhodes, of course, has always been a fighting champion. I'm sure he will accept the challenge. As now we have Cactus Jack and Flying Brian in the ring. Last week we heard from Cactus Jack as Brian Pillman with a roll-up from behind has Cactus pinned 1 and a kick out at 1. Cactus was flat out asked by Mean Gene, did you find it odd that you weren't directed as a team with your partner Jake Roberts? We've seen Jake Roberts and Cactus Jack team throughout the last year here. Ever since 2K22, I had them as members of Devastation Incorporated. And Cactus said it was a technicality on my part, which, hey, you know what? When I prepared for the draft, I selected some tag teams, but Devastation Incorporated was a stable of 5 wrestlers. I didn't choose any 2. And they, ironically, were the only members chosen as Cactus with a 2 count and Brian Pillman. But I think all is okay. I mean, Jake the Snake Roberts at ringside, cheering on his partner Cactus Jack. And a victory here, I'm sure, will put them in contention against the Hollywood Blondes. Of course, that is after last week's Shawn Michaels and Arn Anderson match. Anderson won that match, but Shawn Michaels had his hand on the bottom rope. The referee in position here won, and the kick out at 1 by Cactus. Into the ropes. Back body drop, up and over goes Cactus Jack, and Flying Brian in control here. In the matchup, a Stunning Steve cheering on the ringside. Savant kick takes down Cactus, and look at that. That could have been the end of the match, and Jake the Snake Roberts getting up on the apron, distracting the referee. He was doing something to the turnbuckle pad. Cactus is still down. Pillman's still on top. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Cactus, but that could have been 3. And Jake again up on the ropes. He is distracting Pillman, allowing Cactus to slam the head of Flying Brian down to the mat. I'll tell you what, this match could have been over. Flying Brian had that savate kick and nailed Cactus Jack. And if it weren't for Jake the Snake Roberts, this match would be over. But now Cactus has new life, throws Pillman into the ropes, big knee, takes down Pillman. And Jake clearly cheering on Cactus Jack on the outside. As Cactus is climbing the top rope, this is something we don't see Cactus do often. He leaps and moves out of the way. Pillman again distracted by Jake Roberts. So Cactus was in trouble. Jake distracted Pillman. Now Pillman allowed himself there. And that again gave Cactus Jack a chance to hit a running DDT and spiking down Brian Pillman. So that's the third time this match that Jake the Snake Roberts has distracted Brian Pillman. And that has given Cactus Jack a chance to recover and get the upper hand. 3 times already. But this match still going on as Cactus in trouble is chopped down, rolls to the outside. He saw Austin and ran back in and was met with a drop kick, but that hardly fazed Cactus. I mean, it's Cactus Jack we're talking about. As Jake just threw in a chair. The referee saw it and is disposing the chair. I'll tell you what, this match has become very strange. A lot of interference on the part of Jake the Snake Roberts, and a face plant DDT takes down Brian Pillman. He hooks the leg. This is over. 1, 2, and 3. No, a kick out at 2 by Pillman. And Jake is beside himself. He can't believe it. The Cactus staying on Pillman in the ring. And now Cactus climbing the top rope again. He missed the first time. Will he miss again? No, he's letting Pillman get back to his feet. And a clothesline turned into a power slam. Pillman reversed it. Pillman climbing the top rope. What's he have in mind? He leaps in an axe handle, hits Cactus Jack. He's climbing up again. Pillman perched high. He leaps in a shoulder block off the top rope. Is that enough to put away Cactus? No. Pillman climbing the top rope again. Oh, he got caught. Pillman got caught. Cactus knocked him off, but Pillman slamming in an elbow drop over the top rope. Nicely done on the part of one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Flying Brian. Pillman did not go for a cover. I don't think he would have gotten him anyway. But Cactus now back in control. Oh, and Pillman with a pinfall here. Has Cactus pinned 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Cactus Jack. Oh, and a flying elbow caught Cactus. He's been busted. And Jake again. Up on the end. That's the 4th time this match. And the mandible claw locked in by Cactus. Could this be it? Pillman in a pinning predicament. 1, 2, and 3. No, a kick out barely by Pillman. Pillman barely kicked out. Throws Cactus up and over the top rope, and now Cactus at the feet of Jake the Snake Roberts, who's interfered in this match 4 times to try and give Cactus the advantage. Back in the ring, into the ropes, and a knee by Cactus takes down Brian Pillman, who wisely rolls to the outside. And now Pillman, he's had enough of Jake, and takes Jake the Snake Roberts down with a drop kick. Pillman going after Jake, throws Jake into the ring. Need to be careful here that the referee won't disqualify. No, he doesn't. And now Cactus back in control, but that's now the 5th time that Jake the Snake has got into this match, involved with this match, I should say. That last time was due because of Brian Pillman. I think his frustration got the better of him, and he flat out went after Jake the Snake Roberts. And another drop kick by Pillman takes down Cactus. Pillman back into the ring, and he may settle for a count-out victory here. And Cactus rolls into time, and they both miss a maneuver there. And Cactus goes down. Another drop kick by, and again! Are you kidding? This has become a joke now. That is the 6th time Jake the Snake Roberts has interfered in this match, distracting Brian Pillman. And I gotta tell you, Pillman should know better by now. Pillman should not be giving Jake the opportunity to let him be distracted. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And a backbreaker by Cactus takes down Flying Brian. Pillman now goes for the cover. 1, and the kick out at 1 by Cactus. And a big elbow by Cactus takes down Brian Pillman. And look at Cactus. He's beside himself. He doesn't know what to do either. He knows that he's had many opportunities to win this match and hasn't been able to do it. Now Pillman throws Cactus back into the corner. Drop kick in the corner, and down goes Cactus Jack. And, 7th time in this match, Jake the Snake distracting Brian Pillman. Pillman up on the top rope, got caught again, and thrown off the top rope. I think he was jaw jacking with Jake again. Try saying that 5 times fast. Cactus was going for the mandible claw, broke out, and a forearm to the head. Pillman now climbing the top rope. What's he have in store here? Could it be the crossbody off the top? He leaps, nails Cactus with a crossbody. He hooks the leg. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Cactus. Pillman climbing up again. Cactus back to it. And look, Pillman's looking down at Jake. Pillman's looking down at Jake. Jake distracting Pillman again. Pillman finally throws his hands in the air, and he leaves and misses the crossbody. And Cactus, what's Cactus doing? Cactus is beside himself. What? This is a strange match. And Cactus now climbing the top rope again. He leaps, and again, Pillman moves out of the way. The elbow drop by Cactus. Savant kick. Nails him that time. And the 8th time. Are you kidding me? Jake now distracting the referee as Pillman was on top of Cactus. He got to be thrown out for this. Pillman purse high. He leaps crossbody off the top. Hooks the leg. Referee counts. Is there a Jake distraction? 2 and 3. What a slow count by the referee. But Flying Brian's your winner. What a very strange match this was.
Brian, Big Man.
So I'm not sure that went the way Cactus Jack envisioned it. I don't see them getting a title opportunity in the near future, but I'm sure we'll hear more. Fans, don't go away. Our main event is next. We'll be right back. And it is main event time between these two big men, Hulk Hogan and Dr. Death Steve Williams. This ought to be a great one. There's the bell, and away we go. Dr. Death starting off with a series of backbreakers and tosses Hulk Hogan like he's yesterday's trash. And now a neck breaker turns him over into a suplex, nicely done on the part of Dr. Death. There are not many people in the Wrestling Legends Alliance who can manhandle Hulk Hogan the way that Dr. Death is right now, but this is very impressive as Dr. Death flexing to Hulk Hogan, and that may have woken up an angry Hulk Hogan. A shoulder block takedown and now a series of elbow drops on Dr. Death and a good old boot to the head, and Hulk Hogan in control. Wind up in a big uppercut by Hulk Hogan, takes down Dr. Death, and now Hulk Hogan back in control in this matchup. Runs, charges, shoulder block, takes Dr. Death down to the mat. And now they followed outside. Both men on the outside. The referee has begun a count. And now Hogan ramming the head of Dr. Death into the mat. And throws Dr. Death back into the ring. Hogan taking his time, gets back in, and is met with a big clothesline by Dr. Death. And now a kick to the midsection. Axe handle to the back, clothesline from behind, and down goes Hogan. A back and forth match here in our main event. And now Dr. Death stomping away. Has Hogan, leans him up against the ropes. Picks him up, using that rope as a, oh my gosh, he's using that rope to hold Hogan as he knees Hogan in the kidneys and tosses Hogan over his head. What a slam by Dr. Death. On top, 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Hogan. Turns Hogan around, big clothesline. Hogan flipped to the air. Check that out as Dr. Death showing his strength. Hogan has met his match, and his name is Dr. Death Steve Williams. Williams now picks up Hogan, and a bear hug. Has Hogan in a bear hug. Can Hogan escape? Hogan trying to escape. An elbow to the head, another elbow. Clapping the hands, breaks the maneuver. And an axe handle takes Dr. Death down. Again, 2 of the strongest men in the Wrestling Legends Alliance going at it here. And they are beating the hell out of each other. I love it. Hogan now with an abdominal stretch on Dr. Death. The referee asking if Dr. Death wants to give up. I don't think those words are in his vocabulary. Dr. Death gets out by hip-tossing Hogan. And now Dr. Death telling Hogan to get back to his feet so he can be met with a clothesline. Hogan misses a clothesline. Off the ropes, back body drop by Dr. Death. Hogan now in trouble. A spine buster down to the mat. Down goes Hogan. Dr. Death goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Hogan. What a match this is. So far, we thank you for joining us as Dr. Death climbed the top rope, saw Hogan get back to his feet, and was met with a big right hand. Fans, we are going to hear from the tag team situation. I'm going to make a decision next week about the Shawn Michaels and Arn Anderson match from last week that was supposed to determine the #1 contenders to the World Tag Team titles. I'm going to make an announcement next week. And the tag team that I've decided to go with will face the Midnight Express next week here on the channel for an opportunity at the World Tag Team Championship at SummerSlam. And we saw earlier tonight Flying Brian with an impressive victory over Cactus Jack, despite 8 potential interferences by, well, not, they weren't potential, they were interferences by Jake the Snake Roberts, and an elbow drop from the top of the rope to the floor, missed, and now Hogan back in control. We are also going to see Lex Luger in action, the Steiner brothers, and we're going to hear from Dusty Rhodes. So a full show lined up for you next week. But before we get there, we're going to finish here as Dr. Death with a Gorilla Press slam down to the concrete floor goes Hogan. Now Hogan thrown back into the ring. Dr. Death needs to get in there. If he pins Hogan, this match could be over, but too much time wasted on the outside. Hogan got back to his feet. Now he has Dr. Death up on his shoulder and clothesline on that top rope. Winds back and a big discus punch by Hulk Hogan takes down Dr. Death. He's setting him up. Could it be? He was going to go for the slam, but it was well scouted by Dr. Death. And now Dr. Death has Hogan up in the Gorilla Press slam. Into a power slam. Down goes Hogan. Dr. Death setting up Hogan. What's he have in store here? Hogan back to his feet. Belly to back suplex. Up and over goes Hogan. That could be all. Dr. Death hooks a leg. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Hogan. What a match. What a match this is. Dr. Death runs, charges, big lariat. That looked like the lariat from Stan Hansen. 1, 2, and 3. Dr. Death with the biggest victory of his career by pinning Hulk Hogan. What a match.
Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Fans, we thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to see you next week. Again, the big main event will be a tag team match to determine who goes up against the Hollywood Blondes at SummerSlam. Until then, we'll see you at the matches. Good night, everybody.